Hasselbank was complaining.
Yeah, about the money we'd spent.
And Steve said, what was it? You're complaining, but we had Grant Hanley and Kieran Clark on the pitch and they made you look silly. And Kieran Clark looks like he's from Hollyoaks and Grant Hanley looks like he eats wallpaper.
Hello and welcome to an absolutely buzzing NUFC fans forum. My name is Adam and I am joined by your boys, Ross and Simon. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
I don't really know where else to start, but with the sentence, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Newcastle United 6. What the actual
Yeah.
Did we think we were going to win last night?
Not 6-0.
But at all?
Wait to keep you on it.
But this is...
After the Derby game on Saturday, anything's possible.
Well, we'll start with the Derby game, as that seemed to be quite a surprise. You and I, we watched it together, Ross. We had a lovely time. Johan Gouffran's spectacular goal aside, were we comfortable, do you think? Simon, you watched it as well?
I didn't think it was a very inspiring performance, particularly. At the end of the game, I was like, we've won all these games and we haven't got out of the first gear.
Well,
that's what I mean.
We got a number of tweets on the evening after the fact from a few people saying, am I the only person that's not really getting carried away with this? Yes, we've won a couple of games, but we're not dominating teams, we're not showing quality. And then there was the QPR game. I mean, is that it now? Are we just mint? Is that it?
I think the Derby game was a professional performance.
It was,
I think we allowed them to have the ball in areas, and then when we got the ball, we countered and we scored 2 goals. Both via corners, but still it was on the counter, wasn't it?
I mean, that in itself. Corners.
I think Rafa
Rafa
definitely set up to say, like, come at us, Derby, bro.
Come at us, bros.
Aye, we'll hit you on the counter. And then last night, I know I didn't see it, we've just absolutely tonked them.
Well, my friend Dan White, hello Dan, was there, and his immediate reaction to it was that yes, it was 6-0, but how it wasn't 8 or 9 is beyond him, because we think we've had Atu score one that's not been counted even though it was over the line, because you don't get Hawkeye in the Championship. We had one very questionably ruled offside before we even started scoring. That could be another one. We had another 2 or 3 absolutely outstanding chances and didn't score. It could have been more than 6-0. What's the difference? Why would we do such a professional job against Derby and then a matter of days later go out and just wipe the floor with a comparable team?
I mean, in the first half at Derby, they had a lot of the ball and they kept it well, Derby.
Well, we weren't overly confident after the first 15-20 minutes.
I know, we did look like we weren't going to get a kick after the first 15 minutes. But obviously, I think QPR must have just had an absolute nightmare from the start last night. And Rafa's gone, we can cash in here, lads. Let's go for it. Well,
now, Rafa Benitez he's never been a let's cash in here, lads type of manager.
Well, no.
So I wouldn't think he's looked at it and thought, we're much better than these. But was it the change in personnel? Was it having a Mitrovic figure up front? Was it bringing Hayden back in? What was the difference?
It's extremely hard to say when all you've seen is the 6 goals.
Yes, such is our lot in life at the moment.
Like you wouldn't look at a team that's just won 2-0 and then change it and then win 6-0.
Well,
there's no logic in that.
I have read that when he was at Liverpool fans used to have a website where you could guess Rafa's 11 for the next game, and something like less than 3% of people would do it every week. I mean, the problem he's got now is he's got to go into the Wolves game on Saturday, and he's going to change it. He's going to have to say to 2 or 3 of them players, possibly more, right, you're not in. But how do you even begin as a manager to start picking who from a 6-0 win drops out?
Well, it's a lovely problem to have, isn't it?
Yes, it's the first time we've ever had this problem. My time supporting Newcastle United.
I mean,
completely, yeah.
What's wrong? Just go with who he picks. Can't complain, can we?
This is it. Like, there's some mentality to it that he rewards people for the way they train, and I read, I don't know where it was. It might have been the Chronicle, saying that he looks at the whole picture over the season and says, "Will them playing this game be positive for the rest of their season?" I mean, that's utter bollocks because that doesn't mean anything. But I can understand that he looks beyond just he played well last game, he plays well this game. Well,
if that's the case, then gentlemen, how well is Paul Dummett training?
He must make a lovely cup of tea.
Is he the only ever present so far? Or did we have Clark in left back at one of the games?
He hasn't played every game.
Close to it.
He was dropped for one eye.
Close to it.
Yeah, I just don't like him. Like, I'm not going to be turned on him because he's still the same player. He's still scared of the ball. If I never hear Jack Colback to Paul Dummett ever again in my life, it'll be too soon.
I'm not going to. He's in a team that just won 6-0.
That's fine. I mean, that's fine, yeah. But I'm not going to immediately turn my opinion towards somebody based on that.
It's fair to say he's not been a great player for us. But now, given how well Shelvey's playing, given how well Gouffran's playing, that young gentleman on the stream on Saturday very kindly coined the phrase Rafford.
Yeah.
The opposite of Pardew. Is someone like a Colback or a Dummett not like a prime candidate to get like really good experience under Rafa? And obviously they're not going to become world beaters, but certainly step their game up a good couple of levels.
Well, they've got to be, because they haven't been in their Newcastle career. They haven't been coached, have they? They've been told to get out there and show some passion and some heart.
Yeah, they have both exclusively played.
They have no nous about the game, do they? They haven't got the footballing brain, which Rafa will impart on them now, hopefully.
Now, I don't want you to say something that could come back to haunt you, but do you think either of them have got the raw talent or the raw ability to become much better players?
I don't think Paul Dummett has, because he's scared of the ball.
Well, no,
that's fundamentally something that you pick up when you're 6 years old.
I think out of the two of them, Dummett is the one that could, because...
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's better than
he's a bit of a headless chicken, isn't he, when he's defending? But now he's got Rafa, who is a defensive coach and knows how to defend, so he should...
One of the things that I complain about most with Paul Dummett is the fact that he is not aware of the space behind him and he can't mark it. You can teach that.
He's got a funny run for me.
Yeah.
That's what I don't
Yeah, that's what.
It's always a last-ditch tackle with a minute, so hopefully there'll be less of those again.
I mean, I'll concede that. He might. But Jack Colback is just...
He's just too basic, isn't he? He's just far too basic.
Now,
Hayden makes him look like...
You may disagree with me, but I think under Rafa, I think Colback could come on to be certainly very good at this level. Don't know necessarily about getting him up in the Premier League, but I think he could be a very good player at this level under Rafa.
I don't know if very good is the right terminology.
Hey, man, Jay Spearing looked alright under Rafa at one stage.
That's true. Useful player to have.
Useful's probably the word I'd use, yes.
To fill out the squad. But I'd much prefer to have Hayden, Shelvey. I'd even prefer to have Teotti ahead of Colback.
Well, Vern would be ahead of Colback
as well. Yeah, but Vern's like...
You've neatly brought me on to the next thing I wanted to ask, Simon. Check Teotti's still here.
So we're here.
Rumours of him going elsewhere appear to be not... There's just nothing in it now.
No.
Would you fold him back in?
There'll be some window that shuts in November or something. He'll end up leaving on October the 31st.
Maltese Third Division League.
Just as long as he can get a good payday, he'll be off.
I know,
but that is his thing.
While I agree, there are certainly leagues that could still take him. Not that they'll pay Check Teotti wages.
No, I don't even think Russia would.
No,
and they usually pay over the odds for mediocre players. I think in the Championship he could be great. I mean, he's another one who's an absolute headless chicken when he's wound up, but we haven't got John Carver there anymore, poking him on the sideline, saying, "Go and be mental like me,"
waving a raw steak at him.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. He's useful because he breaks up play really well. Admittedly, he only likes to break up play against Chelsea and Arsenal, but he might decide that he's got to play for something.
Season, unfortunately.
Might mistake Birmingham for Chelsea because they're playing blue.
Exactly.
That could be a coaching tactic for him. Just get him to recognise a load of Championship team kit.
Like, I doubt he's heard of Birmingham or Burton. Just say it's Borussia Dortmund while playing Burton. Just at the reserve ground.
I don't even know what colour Burton playing.
Yellow.
I'm looking forward to the Burton game so much now, because that was the one game we were mocked relentlessly for.
No, we're still going to lose that. Don't say that.
You're
putting it on.
I'm going, mate. I can't wait to go. It's a 6,000 capacity seater.
We'll take 8,000. That's how it'll be.
Apparently, it's an awful walk though from the train up some hill. It's near nothing.
Oh, I'm not going.
So
I couldn't get a
ticket. Golf cart.
Couldn't get a ticket, lads.
I almost hesitate to ask this, but 6-0 away from home. Was not that far into the. We're not that far into the season already. We've got the second. At one stage, we had the best number of goals scored until Barnsley went on a bit of a run at the end of last night.
Yeah.
We've got the meanest defence. We've got the best goal difference. We've not conceded a goal in nearly 500 minutes of football. Can we get carried away? Or is this just, a good, solid...
This is what we expected, though, isn't it?
It shouldn't be any worse than this, really.
I know.
And we've only come out of first gear for one game.
We'll have just spent 40 million. I know we've recouped all of it and more.
30 million net profit.
But we've just spent 40 million and we've got Rafa in the Championship. This is what should be happening.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting carried away.
No,
I'll get extremely excited and happy about it.
Oh, yeah.
We all said at the start of the season this is what we thought was going to happen. Ha ha ha, japery. But, it's very early. not many of the Championship early runners last a pace. And if
there's a lot of difficult games to come. There's Norwich. There's
September's the horrible month, isn't it? Where QPR was supposed to be a hard game.
Derby was supposed to be a hard game. QPR was supposed to be a hard game. Professional performance, then an absolute mullering.
Norwich and Villa coming up, and Wolves as well. But Wolves got home 4-0 last night, didn't they?
They'll be hurting.
Wolves getting beat 4-0 at home and then going away to play a team that's just won 6-0 smacks of so much of a
1-0 home defeat.
Yeah.
And then we'll lose 3-0 in the Cup 3 days later. Wolves have just been out on the piss for like 3 days in Newcastle.
I mean, if we continue this streak until October, then it's time
to
cartwheels down the street. Wait, nah, we plain sailing if we get through this month.
Do you think the depth we've got and the ability we've got in the squad means if we do start to open up a lead, we're probably uncatchable?
We didn't start playing until January last time we were in the Championship.
Yeah, we were
were unbeatable then. We're like a stone on the hill.
But again, they go back to the point: the teams that were outstanding in the opening stages of that season, they dropped off. We had our run was perfectly timed.
I can't imagine that Huddersfield are going to be there for the entire season. I know that they like absolutely sucker punched us by playing the way that we can't play against or couldn't play against.
We also didn't realise they were going to be one of the best teams in the league when we played them. I don't think
they're playing two up top.
We didn't afford them enough respect.
Nobody can do anything with it.
They've got to be considered serious contenders, Huddersfield, because I am actually trying to watch a bit of the Championship now, and they're the real deal. I think they've got an amazing 11 in terms of how well they play together.
That's all they need.
But it's outside of that.
It's the contacts they've got. They've got bare contacts. They just rake in all these youths from the continent.
Continental Huddersfield Town.
Cosmopolitan Huddersfield Town. That was the word that kept getting spouted about before we played them.
They haven't
by you, I think.
They haven't got a great deal beyond the first 11. Same as Barnsley, but then most of the teams don't. That's why they're all pissing and moaning about us buying the league, like Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Enjoyed your tweet last night, Simon.
Which one?
You can, if you listen very closely, you can hear the whispers of they'll not survive in this league. Change to they've bought this league. Very good. Deserved your numbers on that, I think.
It did, yeah. I mean, it deserved the retweet.
God forbid you try and buy your way out of a league you want to get.
I know, exactly.
God forbid.
Exactly.
What else we're supposed to do?
It's the whole point of football. It's like they've been asleep for like 25 years and not realised.
It's understandable though if you supported a team in the Championship and you've not have been on the receiving end of teams in the Premier League chucking out ridiculous money and having 1 or 2 seasons above their station. Someone like Newcastle, and to an extent Villa, dropped down. They've got the sort of financial clout in the place to sell, and all of a sudden it's just no object for them. You can see why that would ruffle you, rattle you.
Nature of the beast.
A little bit, yeah, but they could all have bought Daryl Murphy and just been laughed at like we have. He's not like 30 million player.
I hadn't planned to ask this, Simon, but I feel I must now. When does Daryl Murphy get a kick?
He's useful on the training ground.
Right.
I don't know. I've no idea.
Well, you say that, but
I think he might play in the
apparently
League
the training ground's where Rafa makes his decisions. So if he's useful on the training ground, can we expect to see him in the starting 11?
I don't think so.
Okay, of course it will.
I think he'll be in the League Cup. I don't think the rotation policy can extend that far, surely.
To Daryl Murphy?
I don't think it can.
Right, nice.
He's only the third out-and-out striker we've got.
I know, but we only play one.
I know, 3 game cycles.
I'd prefer to stick to 3 game cycles.
Yeah, I don't think Dwight Gale needs that much of a rest in between games.
No.
That's
the thing. Like Hasselbank was complaining about how we bought the league. Didn't play Gale last night. We didn't have half the players we bought in January on the bench. January.
If you see the money Queen's Park Rangers spent on both wages and transfer fees when they were in the Premier League, it's insanely more than we've been putting about.
Absolute kettle and pot.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? Chris Samba in January.
150 grand a week.
150 grand a week. £12 million. He had played about 10 games for them. Remy, 80 grand a week.
Well, they nicked him from us, didn't they?
Aye.
Exactly.
I don't think Queen's Park Rangers have got any kind of moral high ground to be talking about extortionate sums of money.
And also, Huddersfield and Barnsley are first and third. It doesn't matter, like how much money you spend. They haven't.
You would think,
pull your finger out and coach your team properly. Hasselbank got loads of grief on Twitter last night after that performance.
You would think
it's been coming apparently.
Queen's Park Rangers would be the one club, fans of which especially would appreciate that money does not guarantee you anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, we've spent well and we've bought good players and we've bought expensive players.
We also needed to.
Yes.
I'm just trying to kick the
we've not thrown money around. We're not in a position where if we don't get back up we're in serious trouble because we're still 30 million in profit.
Yeah, we haven't touched parachute payments or anything.
No.
As much as people are like, where's the financial fair play rules?
Unfortunately, we're a club with considerably bigger business clout than the teams around us. And I wouldn't even say we've thrown it about. We've just spent what we've needed to spend. Get out of yourselves, man.
Exactly.
It's only going to get worse in January. Wolves. I mean, do I dare even try and ask you for your starting 11s, or?
I go on.
Actually, before I do, did we learn anything last night about what kind of games we're going to see Mitrovic play and what kind of games we're going to see Gale play?
I didn't think Mitrovic would play last night, I'll be honest.
I thought
I was convinced
so
you would.
much. No, I thought Gale would have been so much more suited to playing away from home.
Yeah,
because teams are higher up the pitch than they are when they come to St James's.
I mean, me and you said this. We agreed about this on the stream. I think perhaps we're thinking 2-dimensionally and Rafa's thinking about 8 or 9 dimensions. We're thinking...
Well, we're not capable of thinking like Rafa.
Away, quick player, sit back, break, home, target man, use it to build play around. I think maybe what Rafa Benitez has done is he's identified things slightly more complicated than just playing at home and playing away. And he's wiping the floor with us.
I'll be honest though, he's still playing Gale as a target man at home, which is ridiculous. He's still getting away with some decisions that if it were or if it was Chris Hughton or Alan Pardew, it would be like, what's going on? I know I said Chris Hughton, but I don't feel the same way about Chris Hughton as everybody else does.
You've got a heart of
stone.
Not
stone.
even stone.
You sit there with a little notepad and you work out who people love.
How can you not like Chris Hughton?
I don't think he's a great manager by any means. I think he profited from the fact that we had a good squad.
No.
And then we came up with the Premier League, right? We had 2 good results and we got tonked by teams that we should have beat.
Maybe we had 2 good results the year we finished 5th. We never look convincing after
but I equally hate Alan Pardew, so that's not really fixing that.
I'm not having that about Chris Hughton.
Yeah, like if he plays Paul Dummett and we lose, I'll be on top of Shearer's statue shouting Rafa out.
What do we think about the Shearer statue?
It's an absolute disgrace.
It
looks like the head off Heart Attack.
You look at Shearer there, like being, I'm delighted to have it, and he's not. Look in his eyes. I was saying this on Saturday. We live in a day and age where you can just get a laser cutter and put it in a computer, like a picture, exactly,
and then get it done exactly.
Yeah.
The Bobby Robson one's a disgrace. It looks not like him.
It doesn't. Jackie Milburn does.
It looks like Bobby Robson if
Jackie
he had an
Milburn
allergic
one's
reaction.
made out of clay, though, isn't it? It could look like anyone. The Bobby Robson one's bad. The Shearer one's bad.
The Shearer one's worse.
Who did they hire? It's just
I don't know.
Newcastle United in their budget ways again.
Well, you see that Shepherd paid for it, and you can tell by the fact he's wearing Adidas Predators and he's got the 96 Adidas font on the back that there's been perhaps a little bit of a help with the payments there.
Yeah, knowing that it's Freddie Shepherd, you would have expected him to spend 60 million on something that was crap.
Aye. Not like this is a very typical Shepherd buy, isn't it? This statue,
it is, yeah.
Not quite as good as we thought it was going to be. Ridiculously overpriced and slightly odd.
He loved being back on the telly.
Him, Keegan, Shearer, McDermott. He'd die happy now. That's it for him. He'll go into bed that night and have just like disappeared into the ether.
When we're getting a Rafa statue, by the way?
For the end of the season, to keep things up the way they're going.
Good.
That's when we're getting a Chris Hughton statue as well. Then.
No. Paul Dummett. Just get Paul Dummett statue.
This is degenerated into silliness now. Rafa statue, I'd be on board with. Think how
not just for getting promoted from the Championship. What are we doing here?
For being Rafa, for being a lovely, lovely man.
This table's falling apart. Who's been looking after it?
Have you seen the state of the studio? It's a disgrace.
I know, it's a disgrace.
Start 11s for Saturday, lads.
Right.
Who comes out for
Ross
you?
goes first.
Who gets rotated in?
It's easier for me to just go, I agree.
Matthew Sells will start in goal.
By the way, he had one thing to do and he almost f***ed it up.
Like, yeah, he's crapping it. His decision making is atrocious.
I think he's growing into.
He's got no balls either. Just when you're coming for a cross, Mats, whatever you call yourself, take your defenders out. Don't flinch like that.
Aye, but
you're a keeper. Be brave.
It's Lascelles, Grant Hanley, and Bemba's probably a bit mental.
Sells is a big lad himself. Like I know he's not as wide, but he's a big beanpole. And just clear them out.
He's at least 53 years old.
There's no wonder he looks that old because he's always living on the bloody edge.
He is. He needs a game where he has 30 shots at him, and he's like, "Come on!" Like Tim Krul's Palermo game that everybody talks about.
Aye,
he needs one of them.
What was wrong with that performance, in Simon, from Tim Krul against Palermo?
It was a flash in the pan. No, it was class. Then he injured himself by standing on a board or something in the goal next game. Can't be that good. Can't even see that.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. We'll agree Matt Sells is probably not in any.
Yeah, he's not in any danger.
Oh no, he's not good.
Vern will be at right back because why would you change it?
I think John Erdl will make his first start.
Interesting.
He's
been played. Did he come on last night?
Came on again last night.
Did he come on as a winger last night, or was it right back? because he came on as a winger against Derby.
I don't know.
He teamed up with Richie at one point when I was listening, so unless it was like pinging the ball across the pitch, I would imagine he was on it right back.
Interesting. Maybe Vern deserves a rest. He has played every game.
He's a machine. He doesn't need rest.
Oh,
I would put Yedlin in the cup game.
Okay.
I would keep Anita.
I think he'll change both centre halves though, just because.
Aye.
Just because.
Mbemba.
They're coming
I think
thick.
Mbemba's
got a
right.
knock, hasn't he? So maybe he
Yes.
won't be fit.
Oh, that wasn't a.
No,
that
he had
wasn't
a little knock. Aye.
I think Hanley
Hanley
will
scored,
start.
so he
in that
might.
case.
They both scored, didn't they?
Yeah. Who Wolves got up front these days? Steve
That's
Bull.
that
Still Steve Bull.
Icelandic
Steve Bull, mate.
Icelandic fella.
Him and Hreidarsson.
It's
No,
Steve
not
Bull
him.
and the lad from Football Manager everyone used to have.
Sigurd Olsen?
Oh yes,
That
that's
doesn't
right.
matter.
It's one of those ones. I'm just wondering why he's a big lad, because that's what Hanley's there for, isn't it? Just winning headers.
Big
and
lads.
that. But Kieran Clark was winning headers last night.
Unchallenged headers in the opposition's 6-yard box. But the only challenge he had for that was Mitrovic.
I don't feel like Ross likes Kieran Clark.
I'll never rest easy when he's in the starting 11 for Newcastle.
I made a bit of a jibe about Kieran Clark on the
He
old
scored a
on
goal
the
and
old
assisted
Twitters
last night.
on the old Twitters last night. I got pelters for it.
What?
We're supposed to support our players, I was told.
We are, but
I got a very smug tweet about Paul Dummett, obviously. Anyway.
It wasn't me.
I'll support him, but I'm not going to change my opinion that he is really, really and really, really Stephen Taylorish.
I will be very unhappy if he plays in the Premier League. But this league's crap, man.
Well, you know,
Honestly, it's crap.
horses for courses, isn't it? Just you're all right, Kieran.
Should we establish we don't know who's going to play
It'll
centre
be
back? Is that where we are?
It won't be
I
Mbemba.
think it'll be Lascelles and
Hanley.
Big units.
And at left back, Simon.
I would hope that it's the laser, but it's going to be Paul Dummett
Okay.
because he's bulletproof.
Before we move on to the midfield, can I just express my absolute disgust that at some point this season we could end up playing fullbacks numbers 7 and 8.
Yeah, that's wrong. Yeah.
I mean, I don't expect everyone to join me on the campaign for traditional squad numbers, #campaign for traditional squad numbers, but 7 and 8 at the fullback positions is absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah. Kieran Clark being number 2 is, I would imagine, hurts Ross deeply.
Well, Tweddle's 2, innit? It's me number on the roulette machine.
Is it?
Is it?
It is, aye.
Ever work?
But now you were telling me that it's South American, innit? Because I was like, you were saying the same at the start of the season. I was like, oh, we've just had 8 years of Colaccini at number
It's
2.
a South American centre back number.
Kieran Clark is a cultured South American centre defender.
I mean, I don't know the origins of squad numbers over in Ireland, but I presume it's not the same as in South America.
Centre halves 5 and 6.
Or 4.
6 being your absolute.
4's a centre midfielder.
4's a European centre back number.
Four's your holding midfielder.
4's midfielder, yeah. 4 is a Jack Colback.
2 and 3.
If he wasn't.
4, 8 and 7.
Sorry, Ross.
11.
Sorry, I've just got Franz Beckenbauer on the phone here. Yes, you midfielders, gentlemen. Would you still be playing with 2-3-1?
John
I
Joe's.
hate 4-2-3-1, by the way. Even if we win, I hate it.
We're not playing 4-2-3-1.
I know
Why?
we're not. I just hate it.
We're
I just
not-
want to
we're
play
not-
4-4-2.
You need to come.
what I want.
You're drifting away there.
No, I'm away.
Anyway,
I think if
gonna
you,
hit us in the
if you
bollocks.
look at how we're playing, we're not playing 4-2.
massage yourself.
You kind of drop Shelby.
That's
After that.
the only problem I've got with the rotation policy Rafa has is when someone's white hot, you drop them and then they're sitting there twiddling their thumbs.
I'm going to say it. I think he'll drop Shelby for this game just to show us all that nobody's immune.
Yeah.
Well, he's just-
outcry.
He's done that already though with Lascelles. He dropped them in the second or third
He was
game of the
playing
season.
badly. A couple of bad
But he's
games.
a club captain.
What Rafa's got in his armoury that's more important than dropping players who are playing well is the fact that he's got the Terry McDermott factor. Kevin Keegan used to drop people. Terry McDermott used to go and put their arm around him. Rafa seems to have that in him anyway. So if he drops them, then he's going to say, look, you're playing class. This is a rotation. This is my philosophy.
Do it in the voice of the
You are at a fantastic club.
Yeah.
A quality player.
We
So-
need to use
Yeah,
a squad.
great point there.
We need to use a
Bastard.
squad. Football is a squad game.
What are you from Nigeria now?
Tell you what though, when I was at uni,
Yeah,
Come on, this is the best one we've done this.
night out, right? I got back home, and then I woke up.
Just cut when that starts on us laughing.
I woke up right, and I'd ordered 15 litres of Mbongo off Amazon. It came in a big box, 15-litre cartons.
Why?
Because I fucking love Mbongo. But on
could
Mbongo,
send him some.
you drink
That's
it
what
into
he's angling
I'm
for.
looking for a sponsorship from Mbongo.
Imagine that.
We'll tweet them.
Let's.
I think our first major opportunity for
If they
commercial
want
partners.
product placement on here, just a couple of cartons of Mbongo and us to all have a glass. I'm more than game. They drink it into Congo.
Adam at whatculture.com. Do get in touch. I think we should have our takeaway sponsored for the live streams.
Probably.
Every show.
Aye, but you had that. No, because I'm not there. I'll come to the next one. That's what I said last time.
I know. Have you watched it back? Have you watched our
Good for
our
you.
limbs all hour at the Goof Rank?
I have, yeah. I watched the highlights. Didn't watch the entire thing.
I've
It's
never-
only so much of his I can take, to be honest.
haven't put the highlights up
You've
yet.
just lied completely.
I haven't
there.
put the highlights
Why
up yet.
lie to me there? There's
I
no
know.
highlights to watch.
Today. I
I don't think there's any point, Adam.
No, they're good though. They're really good. They're worth watching.
Are you leaving that story about your mate? And his dad.
No.
Hasn't cut it yet.
That's the best part.
Is
He's
it?
cut it out.
I could put it by in. I'm not finished.
Tell it now then, if you've not.
Right, this doesn't make the cut. Have you seen the Shearer statue when it was all wrapped up?
Uh-huh.
I've got a WhatsApp, because everyone's got a WhatsApp group with their home mates, haven't
Yes,
they?
lads.
The lads.
group.
It's lads.
called lads.
It's called lads. And one of my mates put this up, like, you seen what just outside St James's Park? I think this is the Shearer statue, and it's all wrapped up in the bandages with the ties on it. There was a pause, and one of my other mates chimes in with, lads, I'm not, just trying to get a cheap laugh here, but me mum left me dad because she walked into the garage and found him having a wank dressed up like that.
No.
We still don't know if it's true, but he said it, and that was enough. So centre midfielders, lads.
Shelby's got to
It
play
has
for
to be
me.
Shelby. It has to be Shelby.
And
I'd like to say Hayden.
Shelby and Hayden's were strongest here, isn't it?
Yeah.
But how many times this season will we play with strongest here?
It's going to be... Who else have we got? Who's the fourth?
Colback.
It'll be Callback.
Toyota.
He's not fit.
Anita if he's not playing at right back.
Maybe in the Wolves game we'll put Anita at centre midfield, but you don't give somebody a rest from fullback by putting them in the middle of the pitch.
That's a harder job, isn't it?
We're missing a centre midfielder still.
Diarmi.
Oh, Diarmi, of course. Is he fit?
Well,
It's just
is
not-
he Ross? That's
Why?
the
He's got a
question.
dicky ticker, hasn't he?
Yeah. Maybe play him in the...
He's just.
Cup.
I don't like him. Derby proved again he's just not a number 10.
No. But he didn't play there for... It's his old team.
He
isn't it?
should
Maybe
play
he
in a
should play
3.
against his
He
old
should
team.
play in a 3. It's so obvious.
He should. No, in 4-4-2.
4-4-2.
Yeah. I'd play Diarmi because it's the old club factor. I mean, that only ever comes back to haunt Newcastle, but
We're playing Wolves, aren't we?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd play for Hull.
Amateur hour on this
Research.
one here.
I don't research. I don't need research. My
You
opinions are
should
much
live
better
your,
than the
you should live
facts.
your research like me and Ross.
Well, who forgot that used to play for Wolves then?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Oh!
No, have?
The prodigal son's returning. Michael Williamson is coming back to
Oh
St James's
my
Park.
God.
Bank a
Has he
goal
been?
that in it.
Has he been playing?
I don't know.
If we don't,
Oh.
if Mitrovic doesn't score 8 goals, then there's something wrong.
Iron Mike makes his return.
Lads.
By the way, did you put that entire QPR defeat down to the fact that Perch went off by any chance?
Yes.
I'm amazed.
Is
I
that,
didn't
what,
see
what
that
was,
on
what, was,
Twitter.
what was the score
6-0.
when he went off?
No, it was
1-0 when he went
1-0,
off.
sorry, yeah.
Wait. If that's not why we should sign him, what?
I don't so much put it down to him being off the pitch, but I'm very glad he wasn't there to see it.
He's
I
like-
wouldn't have wanted to do that to him.
He's like
Also
Sean Paul.
shit, by the way.
Call him Shawnee Paul.
Shawty Paul.
He's the glue that holds the team together.
Well, I mean,
Like
look
glue.
at the evidence, Simon.
Wide men.
Wide men. Well, we've always said we're not
Richie's
playing
got
Toyota.
Oh,
play,
it's 3, isn't it? 3.
just
Richie,
play
he's
Richie.
magic, man. You know.
Atsu.
Atsu got an assist last week. Yeah, he did assist last
And
night.
he had the ball.
And at the bar. Goofran was quiet, so you wouldn't feel too terrible about rotating him out.
Solid, don't he?
But at home, do you need solid?
We're at him, aren't we?
No,
Just
that's
go out and win.
I don't think you'll make
Aarons
too
didn't
many.
even make the bench. Oh, he's injured.
He's
He's
injured.
injured.
Jeez, God, you're looking.
Wait, that's fucking true. Didn't say he was fit. I would play Atsu. Give him a run out.
I think that's
Perez was outstanding last night. By all
I
accounts.
don't think he's a number 10, but everybody seems to think he was class. And he was great in the
Cup
after
game.
he's.
I've said this
after
before.
his
I don't
head
think he's a
injury, he
number
was great.
10 yet.
No.
I think putting him in that, the more put him in that role, the more he'll.
I think
come
he might
into
be
it.
a Premier League number 10.
I think he
but
looks more at home than Diarmi does.
Yeah.
though.
He does, aye.
And that should
Well,
be the
certainly
main
for the way we play.
Yeah.
Because it almost looks like they want like a creative number 10 in there. Diarmi's just. I mean, he put like excellent passing for Gale, yes, but by and large
He's
he's
very
not.
direct.
Yeah.
He's like Sissoko. I would prefer him to pick the ball up and run from deeper, so that's why he's not number 10. The problem is with home games, we do keep trying to play a target man without a target man, and the ball has a tendency to drop exactly where Perez is. He's got a great touch, he can kill the ball immediately, but if it's coming at head height, he's not going to win anything. It's like Gale jumps for the ball all the time.
Smash cut him scoring 3 headers.
I know, exactly, yeah. I don't think he's bad in the box scoring headers. I just don't think his leaps there when he's trying to flick it onto somebody else. I've just never seen it.
Well, then, the big question. Daryl Murphy's first game, or are we not expecting to see that?
No.
It'd be Gale or Mitro. I don't know why.
I think it'll be Gale, and
Toss
I think
of a coin.
Murphy might play in the League Cup game. I think Adam Armstrong would have played in the League Cup game if he was here, so that's the thinking behind that. By the way, that goal he's
Oh my God.
Who is he? That's obviously his level.
Absolute crease that we'd be the highest scorers in the league had we not given Adam Armstrong to Barnsley.
Yeah.
At what point what if Barnsley go on a massive run? Do we just say like,
Sick
no,
him
we'll have him back, mate?
They'll have a contract.
They'll have a clause in there, surely, just in case.
No recall.
I mean,
although it's
us though, isn't it?
We buy the league, so just take the players back. No remorse.
We just
buy. It would be a little bit.
We just buy Barnsley.
Yeah. We probably could with that 30 million.
That's an idea. I wouldn't be allowed, would you?
You surely can't
just
play
buy
against
your
us.
rivals.
They must say that he can't play against us. Or did they outlaw that rule?
I don't know, mate. Anything could happen. It's the championship.
It's still there on Football Manager, so it's got to be.
Yeah.
So we don't know who's going to play. But
It's a flip of a
I
coin.
would say Gale.
Who would you play? Never mind.
I would play Gale.
You play Gale, Ross.
I'll play Mitro.
I'll keep Mitro in.
Well, some people are destined to be wrong. Some are destined to be right.
Some are destined to be constantly miserable.
No names in particular.
I'm a cynic. I'm older than yous. Yous don't remember.
Oh, we'll get there, will we?
Aussie ordeals.
We're catching you. Well, we're not.
No, I'm still getting older.
Well, is that enough, gentlemen? We've got anything else we'd like to go through?
That's it.
Simon, we're going to unpick you psychologically for another 5 minutes to kill some time, or we can just... No, I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on the least cohesive but certainly most enjoyable fans forum we've done. I have been Adam. I've been joined by Simon and Ross. Don't know when we'll see you again, but hopefully sometime soon. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Goodbye.
And send us Mbongo.
Oh God, yeah, Mbongo.
Mbongo. They drink it in the Congo.